Okay, hello, Facebook Live people. We are so happy that you're here today. And I'm pretty excited because we're going to talk about what does a great coach want? That's the mystery question. So I'm Seal Stanford, and this is my colleague and great trainer, Raul Rivera. Raul, do you want to say hello?
Hey, hello, Seal, and hello, everybody. And as always, just really happy to be here this morning.
Thank you. So, one of the things I would say the most important thing that a great coach wants is they want their client, and this goes, by the way, to any parent, any business owner, anybody, okay, that is trying to help another be the best they can be. But for coaches, especially, the most important thing that you want for your client is you want them to be competent in the thing that you're trying to help them do, help them be. And, the way that you see if somebody's competent in an area is whether or not they can do the thing that they're trying to do, right? So, if you're interested in getting the worksheet, go ahead and type in competent in the comment section. And we're going to give you the tips that we have to go over today. And then if you're watching this live, please share live. If you're not and you're watching it as a replay, please type replay. So Raul, what do you see? What do you see coaches getting frustrated about in this area when they're trying to coach their clients to be competent?
Yeah, I mean, one of the first things that I would say is especially if the focus is not right, meaning because once you're coaching somebody, it's really about your client, right? As a coach, it's really not about you. It's really about your client. So when that's not in, then you can get into funny situations, right? Like, for example, having your clients winning and having a great time in session, but then they go into life and they're not winning in life. And that's what I mean. I mean, it's not about the coach. It's about the client, and even more than that, it's about they really winning in life and improving in life. The other thing is like creating hallucination, right? And your client, you as a coach, you don't want that, right? Like, oh, I'm doing so great. Thank you so much, Raul or Seal, for your help, blah, 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 blah. And then you look at life and it's still the same thing or worse, right? So, I mean, that's very important. I mean, not to create hallucination. And then the other thing that I would say that you as a coach do not want, it's also creating dependency. Like, you don't want your client to be dependent on you, on your viewpoints or your insights or answer. I mean, you really don't want that. I mean, as you mentioned, you really want another couple things. But that's what I would say on that, Seal.
And thanks. And you make such a good point on that, because a lot of clients will sit down with us and they really want us to help them get what they want. And then when they often ask us a question, so how can I keep this? How can I keep this state? How can I stay here winning and demonstrating this in life and stay in the way I am right now? And I'm like, well, continue getting coached, but there's another important piece, even more importantly, and that is really learning the tools that I'm using with you right now. And that way you don't end up being dependent and you can continue to create and maintain that bigness and demonstrating that level of competence by knowing what we know, these tools. So what does a great coach want? Well, obviously, it's kind of obviously after you just went over those frustration, we want you guys to be winning in life, not just in session, not just lip service. We want to be able to see you getting what you want in life. That's how you know if you're increasing your competency level. The second thing that a great coach wants, we Raul mentioned being, having hallucinations. I looked up that word last night when I was preparing for today, and I'm like, oh, what does that mean exactly? Hallucinations. Well, I pretty well know. You pretty well sum it up. Keep it real. See it for what it is, you know. And then the last thing is to be able to, be steady and be stable in what you know, own what you know, increase your competency level, not just working on the sessions, but also getting the knowledge so that you too can create even more competency. And that increases the soundness and the stability. So, point number one, what does a great coach want? Competency. They want the client to be competent. They want you to be able to demonstrate it in life. Why? Because that's how you know, if you know something. Secondly, the coach does not, it's very, very important to not get thrown off when you're coaching another person, meaning don't let the client veer you off. Don't let the client steer you off. Don't let the client basically have excuses or justifications on why they can't do something. You want to do it on the right gradient, but gradiently help that person do it better. That's how you get to competency. You don't do it from all or nothing. You do it step by step, and don't get veered off of helping the client do it better. And what's point number three?
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is so key. I mean, for any coach, I know that when I'm helping my clients, this one really makes a difference. And it's just knowing that when you're coaching, please remember to just handle one thing at a time. Okay, just one thing at a time. And that's very important, right? Because sometimes, especially, if the client is not doing that well, right, and you're starting the session and they're just having a bad day, a bad month, or a lot of things on their plate, just know that they're going to be just like sharing with you this and this problem and this other problem, this. So you don't have to handle all of those. But what you really need to do is to find out which one is the one that is like really trapping their attention. And once you find that one, you really handle that and help them win. And guess what? If they win with one thing, which is really the thing that is trapping their attention, they're going to be able to figure out all the rest. But just remember, as a coach, you just handle one thing at a time, and you help your client win. That's what I would share on that, Sil.
Great point. And that is the way to win, and that is the path to competency. So, while thank yous and acknowledgements and testimonials and validations of what you accomplished, they're very, very rewarding when a client gets that, when a coach gets that from the client. But the most important thing that a coach wants for their client is to be able to take the thing that they're wanting to be better in, that they're wanting to increase their competency in, and see them be able to demonstrate it and live it in life so that they get what they want and they reach that level of improvement that they're going for. So that's the number one thing that a client really wants, not making less of recognition. Love it. But what they really want is to see it demonstrated in life. So for those of you who have been on the Facebook Live group and on the Facebook page, I wrote a story that came out of the Secrets book written by Alan. And it is a great story about how he went in and taught this basketball team. And by the way, this basketball in the country of the Philippines is equivalent to the NFL football over in the States, or soccer is in Europe. And he wrote a story about being hired to take this basketball team to being the number one in the whole country. And it's really interesting. Basically, 5 of the players on that team were previous Olympians. So he talks about how he knew that they had the ability to train and train and train and get to basically that mastery level of competence. And so he went in and he trained these basketball players. And while I was working with him, and you can read the story, I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but while I was working with him, I was like, well, what process did you use? What did you use? I want to know. Do we use this today? And so I'm not going to tell you the name of the process, but I will tell you, because it's a secret, but I will tell you, we will share it with you. The same process, one of the same processes that probably 2 of the same processes that he used, you know which one I'm talking about, on that basketball team in the country, in the Philippines, where they won for the whole country the first time in the whole entire history, okay, for that country. We will be teaching that on the life enhancement course that we're teaching in May. And I know several of you have asked about that over the last few months. And the other thing I want to share with you is I use that same process myself on a young aspiring golfer once. And that was 2 of those processes I used with him. And this particular golfer ended up making it to the Greg Norman Junior Golf Classic that was held in, I believe, in the fall of each year in that particular country. So I used 2 of those processes, and there was other things that was done, of course, but there was 2 of those processes that I used to help this guy make it to the Greg Norman Golf Classic. So with that, if you want the handout that we're sending the PDF, just type the word competent in the comment section. And thank you so much, and enjoy your coffee.